Welcome back, and we are going to be covering today something that to me determines or is the difference between winning and losing a match, which is when to go from attacking to playing a little bit more defensively or using your dinks or even lobbing as a strategy. So let's talk about that. So for me, when making the decision on what approach I'm gonna take, usually I'll start the match being aggressive, meaning I'll do more drives, I'll pull the trigger a little early. But my investigation at that moment is figuring out which wing is weaker. Most of the time, people will sit one way or another. What I mean by that is that players will either favor their backhand or they will favor their forehand. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. And most people have one better than the other. But the other thing for me is, like, personally, I'm kind of hoping that I have a long day. So that means that I'll have a lot of matches to play. So at the beginning of the day, I definitely don't want to spend too much time on the court. When being aggressive, you tend to have shorter points, which again, save my body for later in the day. And again, that's for me, and I am just hoping that I'll get many wins and get to the end of the day, but that means that I have to somewhat save my body. When going to a softer game, going to dinking and building and being more patient, that makes the opponents are gonna have to force me to do that because I'm not being successful being aggressive. And then every now and then, of course, I always use the lob, but I wanna make sure that I'm not too predictable with that. But that to me is still being an aggressive player, thinking that strategy is going to push them back off the line and keep us in control of the point. So when I talk about picking my targets and being aggressive, so when I receive the first ball, so first I'll probably be aggressive to that wing, and if, like as you see, that worked, I will go to the right hip first. Most people are a little bit, especially when they are on this side, they tend to favor their backhand. And there's a few people that do, but most people, tendency is that they are gonna go they're favoring their backhand. So that's where I'll look to be aggressive. Now, no different if I'm here and I'm set up the pattern, let's say we're dinking, and we got up here, that if I am looking to be aggressive, most likely I'll go to that spot because again, unless they are ready and then they counter attack and they kill me or my partner, then that's when I'll change the spot. But that's kind of what I'm thinking strategy-wise, is that I'm going to be aggressive. And let's say if I am not successful being aggressive, now what I'm looking to do is actually move the ball around and create an opening where, again, the only way that I can do that, it's more difficult. Most people tend to tighten up the middle when somebody is being extremely aggressive, if they are attacking every single ball, because attacks are less likely to, I'll run out of court, especially if I'm here, I'll run out of court if I'm going on an angle. So then again, I am looking to then dictate with my dinks on how to move the ball to set myself or my partner up to then put the ball away. So that will require a little bit more moving around the kitchen and moving my ball around. With the lob, often people don't watch the other side of the net, but there are opponents that will lean forward because they are very good at dinking and they're used to dinking, so they will dink. So they're dinking and they will be the whole entire time they are down like this. And again, go ahead and lob me. So this is a really good strategy against someone like that. But again, you've got to be paying attention to the other side of the net. The reason why I say that is because if I'm here, I'm expecting the balls at my feet. But the moment that the ball goes up, now not only do I need to get up, turn and run, I am also more likely to, my weight is also forward. So now I need to get up and off my toes to get my balance back and then run. makes it much more difficult. But then again, you need to be paying attention to the other side of the net, just like with the volleys, with their even with their dinking. Most people say, oh, go to their backhand. Well, I will go to their backhand first, but if their backhand is really good, then you do need to consider going. So if I'm dinking with Chad, and let's say like I'm dinking and I'm going to his backhand, and now I'm getting pulled, maybe that's the time that instead of just going, insisting in beating him or your opponent to their backhand, if they're not making mistakes, then you need to adjust and go to their forehand and see how they do. One thing that you can do to prepare better for the match is actually watch your opponent while they warm up. One thing that I notice is that people, when they warm up, if they don't hit a third shot drop in the warm-up, most likely they're going to be driving. So you should make sure that you get your partner to do some drives at you so you're ready with the volley. If they are only dinking in the warm-up, most likely they are not going to be driving too much, or if they do, they're not going to be warmed up at the beginning. So just be aware that those 5 minutes, they're pretty precious and you can use it to your advantage. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. And that's my new thing. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.